Hi guys, I'm Jessica Coyne and this is Yoga for Beginners. Welcome to our 21-day vegan challenge. So if you don't know me, I am a vegan and I've been a vegan, vegetarian, kind of back and forth between the two for the past, I don't know, maybe almost 30 years. And I have been vegan, strictly vegan for the past 3 years. And a question I get asked a lot is, how do I go vegan? So I wanted to start off our vegan challenge by giving you my 7 tips on how to go vegan. Going vegan does not have to be difficult. A lot of people think that you have to go out and buy all this special stuff and you have to learn how to be this amazing cook. And I am here to tell you that that is not true. You could not find somebody who hates cooking more than I do, and I have managed to do it successfully, easily, and pretty lazily, if I might add, for a long time, and I am healthy and happy and thriving, and so is my husband and my daughter. So we are all vegan and we are all loving it. We don't have any problem finding anything to eat. We always go out to eat. We're never hungry. None of us are stick skinny. We're doing great on our vegan diet. So let's get into my 7 tips to go vegan. Tip number 1, find vegan alternatives to everything. So basically everything that you're eating that contains dairy or eggs or seafood or any type of meat, whether it's beef or pork or poultry or any type of meat, it can be swapped out for something else. There are about 1 billion alternatives to everything non-vegan. Plant-based options are huge. So there's lots of different brands, even the big brands are getting into it. But you can find those basically anywhere. Any regular grocery store now will have things that you can swap out for your regular non-vegan items that you use. You can go onto Google and literally Google vegan blank, vegan fill in the blank, whatever you want, and you will find about 1 billion recipes or 1 billion products or 1 billion blogs or YouTube videos or Instagram pictures of the vegan thing that you're looking for, because there are so many options. So get used to going on Google and Googling vegan and then whatever it is. For instance, I wanted to make pot pies. So I Googled vegan pot pies and so many recipes came up. It was a little overwhelming at first. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of what I wanted my pot pies to be. Because there's all types of different pot pies. I didn't know, but yeah. So, and they were super easy to make and it was so easy to find. You can Google vegan milk, you can Google vegan cereal, you can Google vegan eggs, you can Google vegan restaurants, you can Google vegan cars. If you wanted a car that was all leather free and vegan, you can Google that and you'll find a vegan car. So get used to using Google and Google vegan whatever. Tip number 2, experiment. Because there are so many vegan brands, there are so many different types of vegan burgers and vegan cheeses and vegan milks and plant-based alternatives for pretty much everything. You have to experiment and find which brand and which style you like best. For instance, as far as vegan cheeses go, I'm pretty picky with cheeses because I loved cheese, and that was one of the hardest things for me to let go. But I had to find the vegan cheese alternative that worked for me. My favorite is VioLife vegan cheese alternative, and some people like Follow Your Heart. So there's different brands. As far as meats, a lot of people love Beyond Meat burgers. They tend to be my favorite. My husband and my daughter love Impossible Meat burgers. So you just have to kind of figure out which ones you like. Anytime you go into a grocery store, if you look in their plant-based protein, usually in the freezer section, you'll find so many different options there. Just experiment, grab something and pick it up and see if you like it. There are really great brands. Gardein, I'll actually put a link to their website in the description so that you can go onto their website and see what they have. They've got vegan fish sticks they've got vegan chicken nuggets, they've got veggie burgers, they've got vegan pork, they've got vegan beef tips, they've got vegan, you name it, everything, they've got vegan. Some people like their stuff, some people don't like their stuff. You know, it's up to you. You know what your tastes are. Everybody's tastes are different, so get what works for you. Tip number 3, get good at reading labels. Because when you go grocery shopping, you are going to read every single label to make sure that what you're eating is vegan. A lot of things will put in their allergy ingredient section, you know, if it contains milk, wheat, soy, or eggs. Usually those are the big ones that you want to look out for. But there's also some very sneaky ingredients, things like whey, things like L-cysteine in breads, things like gelatin, things like casein in milk and dairy products, confectioner's glaze that you'll find in a lot of candy, and Isinglass, which you'll find in wine, which I will get to in a minute. So you have to really read your labels. Cereals and things, you want to read the labels and make sure that you are getting the actual vegan products by avoiding those no ingredients. Tip number 4, always have vegan staples on hand at home. So my house, we love pasta, we love rice dishes, and I love using butter on everything. I love cheese, and I cook, which I have to. So I have a ton of seasonings and spices. So I always have to make sure that they're on hand. So have your pastas, have some rice on hand all the time, super easy. Regular basic pasta sauces, a lot of them are vegan. Just read through them and make sure that they don't have any milk ingredients. And again, it will say if there are milk ingredients in the label. But those are great to have on hand. Like I said, I cook with a ton of butter. My favorite butter to use is Earth Balance. And when you're using vegan butter, it's not made out of weird stuff. It's just basically made out of oils. So, and maybe I'm old. Well, I am old, but I can remember reading recipes when I was younger that had oleo, and that's just margarine. And so our parents used to always cook our food with margarine, if you're as old as I am. And that's pretty much the same thing as the vegan butter that we use now. So it's nothing weird. It just doesn't have the milk products in it. So I use it all the time. It tastes great. You know, I make things for people who are non-vegans and they don't know the difference. I make mashed potatoes and I put a ton of butter. And by a ton of butter, I mean probably close to a metric ton of butter in my mashed potatoes. And they taste fantastic. Everybody loves them. And if they're all lying about it, then they sure are doing a really bad job because they all eat it. And they ask for more. So, so I use a lot of vegan butter. Things that you can also have on hand are your plant-based milks. There are so many different types of plant-based milks. There's cashew milk, there's oat milk, there's rice milk, there's hemp milk, there's soy milk. There's so many different kinds of milk out there that you literally have so many options and you don't need regular milk. So just find a good plant-based milk to have on hand. Other things I have on hand are vegan cheeses. I love also to have, I love sandwiches. I love just really good white, non-healthy bread, some vegan mayo, and some vegan lunch meat and vegan cheese. And that's my favorite lunch ever. It's super simple, super easy, not healthy, but it is vegan and I love it. So I always have on hand vegan lunch meat. So you can usually get those in the produce section where they have all, you know, their little area of vegan things, and then some vegan cheese with that. But I use mayonnaise in my cooking and I use it on sandwiches. So I always have that on hand as well. So those are just some vegan staples that you want to have in your house. But keep in mind that everybody's different. So you're gonna want different staples than I'm gonna want. Also, spices, seasonings. I season everything: garlic powder, onion powder, mustard powder, salt, pepper, turmeric, paprika, smoked paprika. Those are the usual suspects in my house. Oh, and a ton of dill and a ton of Italian seasoning. I love those. So you can get those anywhere. Always make sure that you have them on hand. You'll be good. Tip number 5, Find some good people to follow on Instagram or YouTube, vegan chefs. There's a ton of them out there. My favorites are Tabitha Brown and Nora Cooks Vegan. I will also try to find links to their sites. I don't work with them or anything, but I do love their recipes and I love watching them cook. So I will link their information in my descriptions as well. Tip number 6. How to eat out at a vegan restaurant or a non-vegan restaurant. So if you're going to a vegan restaurant, you can eat whatever you want there. Pretty easy. So see if you can find some good vegan restaurants. And a lot of them aren't like hippy dippy weird kind of, everybody's drinking kombucha and eating, kale sandwiches. A lot of them are kind of really cool. A lot of them have comfort food. A lot of them have really good desserts. And so just see what you can find out there. You find some really great vegan restaurants. For non-vegan restaurants, all you have to do is Google vegan at fill in the blank, whatever is there. If you're going to big chain restaurants, they usually have sections on their menu that will tell you what the nutrition information is. And some of them even have dedicated vegan options. Places like P.F. Chang's, you can find some good things. Chili's, you can find some good things. Olive Garden. Burger King has their number 3 is an Impossible Whopper. You order that without mayonnaise and it's vegan. Dunkin' Donuts has the Beyond Meat breakfast sandwich without cheese, without eggs, and on the English muffin, that's vegan. Their coffee, vegan if you substitute oat milk instead of dairy milk. And I think they either do oat milk or almond milk. I always drink my coffee black, so I never even worry about that. But make sure that you just look up what's vegan on their menu. And typically, if you go to a restaurant and they don't have anything vegan on the menu, you can modify anything unless it, obviously you can't modify steak or something like that. But you can usually order a dish without chicken or without beef or without cheese or without sauce and make it vegan. So, you just have to do that. But don't be shy about asking about it at restaurants. And generally, the more we ask, the more likely these restaurants will be willing to put some vegan menu options on their menu. Tip number 7, learn how to drink vegan. I'm talking about alcoholic drinks. Not all alcoholic drinks are vegan. A lot of wines are filtered with gelatin, which is a byproduct of animal hooves, or they're filtered with something called Isinglass, which is a byproduct of fish. So it's like the fish intestines that they use to filter it. There is a website that you can use that I use quite a bit. It's called barnivore.com, and I will also put a link to that in the description so that you can start drinking your wine and your beer vegan. There are a lot of great vegan options out there for wine and for beer. You just have to look for them. The good things that are vegan are, your hard liquors, your malt liquors. They're usually all vegan. Your rums, your vodkas, your whiskey, they're vegan, so you can drink those with ease. But anyway, those are my 7 tips for going vegan. And keep checking back on my channel every single day for the next 20 days, because this is the first day of the 21-day vegan challenge. And I'm going to post recipes, information, and just other vegan stuff so that I can help you on your vegan journey. So if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you can be notified anytime I post something new. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Namaste.